CNN has revealed yet more text messages that were going back and forth between extremely powerful and politically connected Republicans after the 2020 election and before the insurrection. In this case, coming from Senator Mike Lee and Representative Chip Roy, and oh boy, does it reveal a lot. So first of all, I need you to understand who Mike Lee is, who he was in the lead up to that election. He said on October 7th, "We're not a democracy." And he is technically right in a needlessly pedantic way. We're a representative democratic republic. But that I think was less of a statement of fact and more of like a social media vision board situation, because he would soon transition into working to make sure that we were both technically and realistically not a democracy. On November 7th, he sent a text message to Mark Meadows saying, "I want to offer words of encouragement to the president and have reached out to Molly for that reason." That's Molly Michael, Trump's executive assistant. "This doesn't have to come down to a binary choice between an immediate concession, because he'd lost, and a destruction of the credibility of the election process. That said, he's got some plans that might lead more towards one of those than the other." So first though, let's jump to Chip Roy, who on the same day messaged Mark Meadows to say, by the way, remember, Mark Meadows is as close to Trump as anyone at this point. "Good, be well. If you're still in the game, dude, we need ammo. We need fraud examples. We need it this weekend." And Mark Meadows says we are working on exactly that. And if you are a conservative or a Republican watching this, I want you to just briefly try to grapple with the idea that 4 days after the election, the closest allies to Trump are saying, "You gotta find something." And Mark Meadows like, "Yeah, no, we're looking. We're totally trying to find something," because you at that point likely were already days into believing that this was an open and shut case. They'd already proved that the election had been stolen. No, behind the scenes, in private to each other, they're saying, "We're looking, man. We're trying to get you that ammo. We're gonna get you something." That's what I find most fascinating, Brett, about these. It shows us the gap between what they were pretending to believe in public and what they were doing behind the scenes.
So that's your most shocking moment. If we could go back to graphic 3, the most shocking moment for me is when I see Chip Roy text the word "dude." Dude, it's me, Chip.
Where's my ammo?
Like, where's my ammo? No, that's absolutely right. They are trying to sell something in public, and it should go without saying. This is what they do everywhere. This disconnect between like this inconsistency, this strange grappling for any bit of reality to spin an insane non-reality around. Like they can't, they have such low standards and they can't even hit those.
Totally.
Meanwhile, like you're looking at, I think, was it Meadows? There's like 2 identical right-wing guys that I think it was Meadows. One of them is had to vacate his voter registration because he himself registered Meadows registered in North Carolina and basically committed what, in my opinion, I would very easily say, if not legally, then just as a concept, is voter fraud.
Is voter fraud, exactly.
Where he registered at an address he'd never been to.
Yep.
Now
on Snake Mountain.
Yeah, and that's like that is the reality that they are trying to get you to live in or depart from, and make you believe that the entire election was stolen when they themselves were in charge of all the states that they say it was stolen in. That's another point.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.